screened over 2,000 people, and about 1,000 of them are found to have cataracts, and we're going to operate all of them. Currently, we have operated over 500, and we're going to hit our target. The amazing thing about that is when these patients come blind, they go out with full sight.
Such joy.
And nothing can be so...
Such joy.
Yeah, so it's such joy. You see them having tears on their eyes. That's what we call tears of joy. And that's what Rotary does, bringing joy to people's faces. Talk about basic education and literacy. We do train teachers, especially in these areas of artificial intelligence. I remember the last one we did, we put together a number of teachers from Lagos and Ogun states, and we taught them the rudimentary of artificial intelligence. You know, that's what's going to rule the world. So we want to expose our teachers to that so that they can know how to impart this on their students.
Wow. Such amazing story. I really do agree that, I mean, if you give someone their sight back, you really have brought joy into
there's
their lives.
nothing like it. It's one of, in actual fact, it's what I call my Rotary moment, because I've been so much involved in it, and I've seen people go into the theater blind and come out with full sight. That to me is like regenerating life.
True.
Yeah.
New hope.
New hope.
All right, so now we have delved into healthcare, right? But that brings us to our very next question. So would you like to also highlight some of the club's most significant contribution in the healthcare sector as well?
Well, another good question. I also relate to things that you can see so that you know. As a district, our star project this year is to equip a purpose-built space for the treatment of sickle cell. I'm sure you must have heard about sickle cell.
Of course.
People suffering from sickle cell.
I had a roommate in the university who actually...
Oh, yes. There's virtually anybody in Nigeria that doesn't know or have heard something about either as a friend, or as a child, and also as a parent. So we consider it one of the things that will impact our society. So
very true.
we are already building that center, and we're also going to equip it, not just the building, but we're going to equip it with modern equipment, with updated technology that will even detect sickle cell in the womb. So it's going to get to that level, and of course we are going to have partners, other organizations that believe so much in the care of sickle cell. Sickle cell impacts not just the patients but also the carers. You can imagine the parents that have 1, 2, 3 children with sickle cell. The burden cannot be
talking about financial burden as well.
Financial a lot, but more than financial, mental, stress,
it's
everything.
The whole thing.
So that is an area where we are going to have a big impact on the community. As we speak, the building is almost ready, and when it's ready, we are going to equip it with the latest technology.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So we'll go on the break, but we have one last question before we do that. So we just want to talk a bit about sustainability. Okay. Can you tell us about the tree planting initiative and the Planet Earth Award?
Yes. In actual fact, that is the latest of the, I talked about 7 areas of focus. Environment is the latest addition to this. And it's in the realization that we need to preserve our planet Earth so that generations to come would
definitely have something for posterity's sake.
Yes, we do a lot in that area, and what we are doing in my district, for instance, and this is in collaboration with Providence Bank. They also have an arm of the bank that deals with the environment, and we came together and we planted coconut trees, in a community in Ogun State. They offered us about 6 acres of land, which we have done.
Amazing.
So apart from preserving the environment, that's also something of economic value.
True.
Coconut tree. So that's an example of what we do. Of course, in terms of that, many of the club projects also center on beautification of the areas, which again is part of the environment.
Yes.
I remember when we went to Rotary Club of Gowon Estate, they have this beautiful roundabout with solar lights, so that when you go there in the evening,
all things bright and beautiful.
Beautiful. So these are some of the aspects of the conservation of environment that Rotary we do, not just in Nigeria, but it's all over the world. Yeah.
Wow, so much to celebrate. Okay, so at this juncture, we'll just take a break, and we'll be right back afterwards. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Champions of Change. Paying it forward. Join us and be part of the movement.
Do you feel terrified when speaking before a group? Are you stressed when asked to present? Do you forget your points? Are you shy and need confidence? How do you give a speech with polish? Learn how at the School of Eloquence,
the home of public speaking. Attend our 2-day practical training in public speaking. Call 0802 303 2066 or log on to schoolofeloquence.org.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Okay, I'm Patrick Tommy, and I want you to keep watching the Achievement Channel. You will achieve if you do.
Okay, my name is Lion Dr. Ibrahim Jide Bello, District Governor, District 404B3, Nigeria, and also proprietor of a D Dynamic Private School, OTA. Keep watching Achievement Channel. It is a motivational channel, and of course also very informative as well too.
Keep watching Achievement Channel because my name is Ray Chebri. Please keep watching Achievement Channel.
Champions of Change. Paying it forward. Join us and be part of the movement.
Welcome back, viewers. You're still watching the Achievement Channel, and we still have with us Dr. Kukoyi.
Yes.
District Governor of Rotary International, District 9111. And we've been talking a lot about what the club has done in terms of healthcare and sustainability and such amazing things, and how much joy they have brought into the lives of people over the past 120 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's delve a bit into asking you some personal questions. As a medical doctor, as a business leader, and now district governor, how has your experience shaped your leadership in Rotary?
Well, that's a very good question. Personal though. Well, I come from a background of medical practice of close to 41 years. Yes, and that of course has given me the opportunities to learn about leadership. I first started as the sole proprietor of the hospital, and over time it's grown to be a very big hospital with almost 200 staff. So that's given me some degree of leadership. So it has actually helped me a lot when it came to heading Rotary. But there's a significant difference. Rotary is made up of volunteers, not workers.
Working to get paid.
Yes. So that in itself means that one must devise other strategies to lead.
Sure.
You are not a boss. You are not just lucky to be one of the good Rotarians that can lead. Also bearing in the fact that we have over 72 clubs to lead, that again calls for a lot of tools and kids to lead well. So it has really, I must say that my background as a doctor has actually helped me in navigating the very stressful work of a district governor. Yes,
stressful but impactful. Stressful but worth
and that is
it.
the joy of it, is impactful, and it's very fulfilling that yes, you've been able to galvanize people who devote their time, their talent, their treasure to serving humanity without expecting anything in return. And that is the service above self that we talked about when we started. So
wonderful.
It's been so wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we've spoken about the landmarks and the achievements. Now let's talk about the challenges, right? Because we want viewers to also be inspired. Can you share with us some of the challenges that Rotary Club has faced in Nigeria and how you have remained effective in serving the communities?
Well, perhaps the greatest challenge that Rotary had in the formative years was this assumption that Rotary is an elitist club, that only for the rich. And some even thought it was a cult. But over the years, we've been able to disperse that notion. You don't need to be a millionaire to be a Rotarian. I'm not one, for instance, but I'm a very good Rotarian. And you only need to be comfortable, but more importantly, to have the passion to serve. That is what I think is paramount. So in the early stages of Rotary Nigeria, those were the kind of problems that we had. But like I said, we've been able to overcome that. Well, currently, the biggest challenge we have is probably, I'll call it economic. You all know what Naira to dollar is. Dues to Rotary International is in dollars. That means that to be a good Rotarian, given the ratio of dollar to Naira, you need to pay extra than what we used to pay before. So that has actually impacted a lot on us as Rotarians. Some people have found it a bit difficult to meet up with that standard, and so it has also affected our membership. So those are what I think are the major challenges that we have. Increase in the cost of being a Rotarian, and also the impact on membership. But we are trying to overcome this by letting Rotarians know that, the problem is not from Rotary International, it is from our economy, and we just need to prioritize our spending, yes, so that we still give to Rotary what we used to give before, because we know the importance of that.
Exactly.
It is what Rotary Foundation, which is a arm of Rotary that manages the fund for all the projects all over the world use. So that is one of our challenges, but we are coping with it, and yes.
Very important, because as you've shared the challenges, you've also shared how you've helped people see that priority is actually what matters, because we're all in this economy. We know what it is, what the exchange rate is
and we know what people spend money on that are not necessary. They are not, they are wants but not needs. There are few essential things one needs as a human being, but in Nigeria, we have so many things that we call wants that are not necessary. I don't want to mention them, like the Ashwebi, for instance.
Some people, that's a holy grail for them. Yeah, they don't even, you don't touch that.
A fortune on Ashwebi, which actually at the end of the day is not worth it. So as Rotarians, we prioritize our spending, and because we know the value of so.
Thank you so much for that. So we'd like you to share with the audience and the viewers your club's vision for the next 10 years.
Yes, that is very important. I remember I was writing on 120 years of Rotary this morning, and I put myself in the position of Paul Harris. Paul Harris is the guy that formed Rotary 120 years ago. And I was wondering what was going through his mind. That in 120 years, where will Rotary be?
Exactly.
And I think that is what you are asking me now. Well, I can imagine Rotary getting better in terms of management, in terms of projects, in terms of involvement in the community, better and better every time. We have what we call the action plans of Rotary, and I think that is very key to what we are mentioning now. Our ability to increase our impact. We are already strategizing on that and improve on our reach, by which we mean how to bring in new members. And of course, we also want to engage participants in very meaningful ways. But one other strategy that we have, and I think that goes along with what I see here, champions of change. Change happens everywhere. And we also want to be, it's only constant thing. In Rotary, we call that the ability to adapt to changes. So it's one of our strategic intents. And so I can see Rotary in 10 years getting more into the public space with more members, with more informed members and members who are eager and willing to impact our society and to add to doing good in the world. So we must have heard about the 4-way test. That is what we use as our Bible. So I can see 4-way test becoming more and more popular in the next 10 years than it is now. Okay. So that it can affect processes even beyond Rotary in government. We've been selling the idea to our politicians that they should imbibe the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. And apparently, if everybody catches that bug, it will improve us in every aspect. So, Rotary will be the organization of first choice to anybody that wants to serve in the next 10 years.
Awesome. Talking about new people, you spoke about making it easy for new people to join in and, you know, adapting to the changes that you spoke about when we talked about challenges. So if we have young professionals who also want to give back, because I believe that more and more people are seeing the need to give back. I mean, I watched some time ago on social media one of the people who had to just, you know, give back to society. So, but these people don't know where to start. They don't know how they can get involved with Rotary, because you spoke about it, that mindset of it being an elitist, So how can young people, young professionals get involved, and why should they also consider joining Rotary?
Yes, we're very intentional about that. We are making conscious efforts to bring in the young people. Actually, we have categories of membership in Rotary. We have Rotary for the secondary school students. We call them interactors. Then above that, we have Rotaractors, who are those in the tertiary institutions, for instance, from ages 18 to 30. These are also young people. But now, even in Rotary itself, we are making conscious efforts to bring in the very young ones. For obvious reasons. They're very energetic, dynamic, bubbling with energy, which they can transform into projects and all of that. And we know where to catch them. Social media.
Social media were coming for
social media, yes. We know where to catch them. Not on traditional televisions, not on the newspaper, but on the social media. And we invest a lot in that aspect. It's part of our public image strategies to invest in social media so that we can catch the various segments where they are. And our district has a lot of social media handles. We are present on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, LinkedIn, and so many others, but these are the popular ones, apart from the websites, which we encourage every club to have. And our district also has its own website. So these are part of the ability to adapt to situations that we talked about. So we are inviting young ones. Like I said, it's not too expensive to join, provided the interest is there and provided the passion is there.
The willingness.
And we Of course, when we talk of projects, I mean, young people are the best because they still have this energy and ideas. They bring in new ideas. And they are also very savvy when we talk of technology, which they can use that to improve the processes at club levels, at the district levels. So it's an open invitation to the young ones. And that actually is the question I wanted to ask you before. So we'll still come to that.
Okay, fine. We'll definitely come to that. So one more question, Dr. Kukoyi. For those who aren't Rotarians, for individuals and corporate organizations, how can they contribute to the work that Rotary Club does currently?
Yes, I mean, there are so many ways and avenues for doing that. There are things we call awards in Rotary. I mentioned that Paul Harris was the founder of Rotary. There's an award we call Paul Harris Fellow.
Okay.
That is for people who have donated $1,000 to Rotary Foundation for carrying out the projects in Rotary. You don't have to be a Rotarian to do that.
Okay.
Anybody in this room can be a Paul Harris Fellow, and they can even donate more than that, up to $250,000, and they are so well recognized for doing so. Well, at the community level, when they are doing projects, people who are not Rotarians can also contribute, be part of it, not just in terms of money, but in terms of active participation physically and all that. So these are areas where they can participate in it. And Rotary, at least this district, we also have a program, we call it a Peace Building and Conflict Prevention Program that we have made possible to the public now. We are in the second set of students. We send them to Olabisi Onabanjo University for training. It's 3-month training in peace building and conflict prevention, and it's entirely free to them. And so we are doing the second set, second cohort. They will resume. In actual fact, they resumed 2 weeks ago. We are training them. By the time they come out, they will be 80 in number. And we are going to continue to do that from time to time. So, and the idea is to have a critical mass of people who are knowledgeable in peace building. Peace is a commodity that is needed all over the world, but it's scarce. And it's expensive to maintain peace. Very expensive. Or it's even more, let me say, it's more expensive to
the other side, like when you
yes,
absence of peace.
It's better to prevent conflicts.
Yes, very true.
Than to manage it when it has already happened. That is why I want to strengthen peace building. And
that's a strategic move.
Yes, a strategic move. We started that in our district, although for Rotary International it has existed for over 20 years. And they've trained well over 1,500 people. We call them fellows all over the world. And you can imagine the good work that these 1,500 people are carrying out all over the world. So that's also a vision for the district. The more peace we have in Nigeria, the better for us. And the less the conflicts and all the insurgencies, the better for us.
Thank you so much. We thank you so much for the time to be on the set with us. Thank you for sharing with us all.
Great pleasure. Yes, I want to congratulate you for these champions of change. I think that is what we need in the world. Yes. You are doing so well here, and I congratulate you.
Thank you, sir. And we're inspired by the good work, the great work that Rotary is doing. Thank you. All right.
And the best way is for you to join us so that we can do it better.
Yes, sir. Definitely noted. Thank you so much, sir, for your time with us here.
I want to thank you and also thank the audience for being part of this wonderful program. Thank you.
Wow, what an insightful discussion. Dr. Kukoyi has shown us the power of service and how Rotary Club Oregun has spent the last 40 years shaping lives and communities, from healthcare intervention to education support and environmental sustainability. Rotary is indeed a force for good, but the work is not done. We all have a role to play in making our world a better place. If you've been inspired by today's episode, why not take action? Join Rotary, volunteer, or support a project in your community. Let's continue this conversation online. Follow at Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for more inspiring stories. Use We See Possibilities to share your thoughts on today's discussion. Remember, service is the rent we pay for living. Stay inspired, stay engaged, and keep seeing possibilities on the Achievement Channel, where we see possibilities. Till next time, bye.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today. Impossibility is nothing.
Welcome to Teachers World, where we celebrate the heroes of education. Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
Hello everyone and welcome to Teachers World. I'm your host David Obianyo and you're watching the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence Studios in Ikoyi, Lagos, Nigeria. Today we're exploring the disruptive educator, building identity, emotional intelligence and global excellence. Joining us is a woman who is a vibrant force of nature. She is the Montessori expert, a family life therapist, and a creative pioneer who uses Afro beats to teach children about their identity. Please welcome the founder of Le Posh School and the Gen Z mama herself, the phenomenal Dr. Ronke Adeniyi, popularly known as Ronke Posh.
Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
Welcome, and today again I'm here with Dr. Ronke Posh. She's somebody who I have known for over a decade, and if I'm going to be truthful, we met on social media. Like we had known each other for I think 6 months or thereabout before we actually saw physically, and it was worth the wait because she's the female definition of regular is boring. She's a disruptive educator, and during this show I'm sure that her responses are going to be nothing but short of your expectations or even exceed them. So I'm going to ask you, as a disruptive educator yourself, what does it take to be a disruptive teacher, and how can this help pupils be better in the classroom?
Hello, thanks for having me here. So let's talk about disruption. When we talk about disruption, it can be positive, it can be negative. So in my context, it's definitely in terms of empowerment, in terms of change, disrupting mediocrity, disrupting the status quo and trying to do something differently. In doing that, we become more creative. In doing that, we become more innovative. And that's what we need for our children, isn't it? Sure. That's what we need to inspire them. We just cannot, they say insanity is doing the same thing and expecting the same, a different result. So we must be able to disrupt. We must be able to allow children to imagine, to think critically. We have to give them freedom, we have to give them choice so that they are able to bring out that innate thing that God has put into them and make a difference in society. That's the disruption that we're talking about in this context. For a teacher to be disruptive, that teacher has to be patient. Has to be very patient, because if you're the teacher that is just looking to cover lesson plan, scheme of work and everything, you're just going to be creating robots.
Monotonous.
Just monotonous. I can remember one time I told a teacher, the power is always out in Nigeria, power is always out. So the power grid was down and there was no power, and we were using solar. Okay. And coincidentally, we were teaching power supply, energy, and all those sort of stuff. So I was in the class, I was listening. So she mentioned that the power grid is down. So I asked the children, do you know what the power grid is? I know, no. She was saying like, time, because of time. As I know, it's not going to take us a minute or two to explain power grid, show them what the power grid is, tell them to help them understand that we're using solar now, and that's why we can have power in the school. These 5 minutes can change their life. These 5 minutes can make them have a more robust conversation when they go out. It's not always scheme. So you find that is disruption to the status quo of that teacher. To her, it was an inconvenience. That's extra 5 minutes when I want to go and teach the next subject. You know what I'm saying? But that is more powerful than whatever it is you want to teach. We need to understand that we must disrupt. I'm not saying that everything you do anything, teach anything, but where it's relevant. When you're talking about a bird and you say falcon is a type of bird, and the child is like, falcon, what does the falcon look like? And like, he's a big bird, he has all those words. If you Google a picture, the child already can see what a falcon looks like, and you've ended it. That's just simple ones in the classroom. That's simple disruption in the classroom. So you must come ready, you must come prepared, you must know your content, you must know what it is you want to teach and what it is you want to allow the children to learn. Flip your classrooms, let them go home, let them research. Let them go and find out things. We no longer at the brain boxes anymore. ChatGPT is there, all sorts there. So let them go and do. In fact, it's easier. The voice of a disruptive teacher is not always heard. The voice of a disruptive teacher is not always heard, because she would have told her children, this is what I need you to do, this is what I need to do, you need to collaborate, you need to do that, bring it and let us learn. And you'll be amazed that you yourself as a teacher, so things are happening. Because these children, they can do their research. They can do it. Everything is available to them. So those are just little examples of how you can create disruption in your classroom.
Totally. It makes a lot of perfect sense to me. And I mean, in my own time in the classroom.
Are you done? I was going to ask you, are you done?
In the classroom? I've been out of the classroom for a while. I was assistant head of school too. Somewhere else. I left where I was.
Really?
Yes. I mean, low key. I mean,
we need to talk. We need to carry me to lunch. Let me go and hear. Oh, they must have been crying. They were crying.
They missed me. And I missed them. The feeling is mutual.
Yeah.
So, and you know that I was a disruptor myself. I was somebody who came and changed the status quo. And I'll have viewers know that, I mean, like she said, you cannot be building robots. Monotony does not have any place in the classroom today. A teacher who does the same thing over and over, the only thing you're going to be entitled to is your salary. And nobody wants that. I mean, we were together at the Guinness World Records recently, and you were the host, the phenomenal host that brought everyone together dancing. So music is your thing, particularly Afrobeats. So in the classroom, how do you think we can use music to instill pride and a sense of belonging to the students as educators?
So I love music, like you rightly said. I just love even saying it now, because when I was coming, I was thinking, should I bring my Bluetooth? But I was thinking maybe we won't be able to plug into this sort of thing. I think when you but so much on. When I'm teaching, I bring music. I bring sounds, not just music. I also bring sounds. They could be having art, and it could be water falling, sounds of water falling or rainfall, or birds chirping. Depending on what it is, the activity is, you can get the type of music that you want. I believe that children should also have anthems. They should have anthems that are interesting. You know, we like them to have affirmations. So those are affirmations do they have? And I was looking around, I can't find it. I want it. So I created it. I created it, which made me the first African educator.
You created that stuff.
That song was produced on Spotify and all streaming platforms. Yeah. What did you think?
It's fire. I mean,
that song, yeah, that's my song. And it's not just, it was produced and it's on all streaming platforms on YouTube. So anyway, the anthem there is, I know who I am black and proud. I know who I am a child of God.
Well.
Thank you. Okay. So that song, I'm singing about my thing, but I needed it, and sometimes it's like you're looking for something, you can't find the solution, just create the solution. And that's what makes me know that teachers are creators. We're just so full of so many things. Sure. When you think it's just to come and teach English and maths inside the class, I'm thinking, if you know how powerful we are, we are gods. We are gods. If you know what you can, that song, if my children should just hear it in the school like this, the whole school scatter, they know I'm around, they know that song. So it has entered their system. And we are black children. We are black people. Some of our children don't know that they are black. You know that? Because they are fair in complexion, they think they are not black. And there's cultural erasure going on in society. You find we want to speak Fune. You find that women are wearing wigs. You find that we don't want to be called AGK. We want to be called David. All those sort of things are happening. So it's an erasure. And I find that people are no longer proud to be black. And you see that a lot of people, they'll travel abroad, they will change their names, they will say she's Ori, and all sorts of things are already happening. I don't want to eat Nigerian food, and all those sort of things. So I created that song, that anthem, to say there's a reason to be black and proud. You should be. Civilization started in Africa, but we think westernization is civilization. So we begin to want to be like Oyinbo, that proximity to whiteness. We want to be like Oyinbo, but we are so much, because they haven't taught us history. We don't know enough history. We don't know anything to disrupt anything. So all we want to do is buy wig for 5 million, buy wig for 6 million, because we're not thinking about how powerful our crown is. What's the history of our crown? Our crown was so beautiful. Do you remember people, they used to be so jealous? They will cut our hair, and then schools are replicating it. They don't know the reason. They'll cut their hair so that we are all subdued, and then they take that hair and stuff it into their chairs, their pillows, their cushions. That's what they used to use our hair for. Our hair, we used to plait our hair so beautifully. Those styles that we used to have were the maps that we used to escape from our colonial masters. We don't know history. We have not taught this history. It's only the diluted one that we're teaching our children. So the black pride is no longer there. And I'm somebody of culture. I love it. I've lived in the UK for 2 decades, and I am still who I am. I still want to be black. There's something to borrow from there. But even there's something they can borrow from us. Us wanting to become them is where the challenge lies. Because we cannot bring change to the world. We cannot bring change if we have an issue with identity. And that's why when you go to global tables now, at global tables, even we can't even open our mouth and talk. Once Oyinbo has talked like this, we don't bow down. Because we have not built our children to be confident. So my little space, what I do is to tell my children that you are black. You should be proud. You should know who you are. Someone is trying to debase you. Don't allow it. So that's where that anthem comes. And I believe that schools should have anthems. You don't have to go and produce it and put it on Spotify, but at least have something for the children to chant, to sing, to use. And then it also helps their reasoning. Music is good for critical thinking, reasoning. So having it in the background, it also helps. Having it when they're doing handwriting, art and craft, even when they're doing maths, there's a type of music that you can also play. But you have to curate your playlist as a teacher. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you cannot even get what you're going to teach, organize, is it music you want to come and add to what is happening in the classroom? So I think I've answered the question.
Yes, you have. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Like, man, you need ample time. As an educator, you always need ample time to prepare. If you have to wait till the last minute, then you are never going to be able to measure up. And some of the things you talked about, the erosion of our culture, it's something that is happening very fast at an alarming rate. I mean, if we're going to be truthful with each other, it's something that we see every day. And our children need to be inculcated, and these things have to be reiterated to let them know what it is they stand for, and that in turn builds self-esteem. I know that when a person knows where they are from, as in definitively their confidence is built. Thank you. Okay, so from what I know that you're head of school, you've come across so many educators over time, and you're also a mentor. So what would you say to educators about how they can connect the unique emotions of children to the attitude today of the younger generation?
I'm not sure I'm clear. How they can connect?
Now, children, we have different types of emotions we come into the classroom
Yes.
with every day.
Sure.
But then again, we also know how the younger generation have an attitude shift from what it was before, how they could react to, like the way you say, okay, once you talk to children, they bow. Now, children know that they don't just need to be seen, they also need to be heard. So how can we connect these emotions to how they behave today as educators? How can we manage it?
So, school is not a scam.
Fact.
But school is a scam.
Fact.
Okay. So, I like the question because we have been hearing a lot about it. We've been hearing that, oh, this person did not go to school and is a multimillionaire, is a streamer, is a this. The minorities don't make the rule. So when you need to connect those dots, yeah, we need to understand that education is powerful. School may be a scam. School may be a scam, but education is not a scam. And education can be formal and informal. Now, when I want to connect the dots, we have to be emotionally intelligent. That is education.
In itself.
You may not be 1 + 1 ABC, but it is education. EQ is important. It is education. And self-awareness is part of emotional intelligence. If you're not self-aware, if you don't know who you are, if you cannot regulate your own emotions, you're not going to be able to work with those children. They're going to trigger you.
Yes.
Now, they'll trigger you, you're going to react. And that's why we hear every now and again, somebody beat somebody, somebody killed somebody, somebody broke somebody's head, somebody, because somebody has not been able to regulate their emotion. This even applies to parents. I've heard of parents coming to school to beat teachers and all sorts of madness going on out there. It's because people don't have mastery of self. If you have mastery of self, then you'll be able to connect with these children. You'll be able to understand that children have what is called an expected behavior. Children have expected behavior. You don't expect a 3-year-old to come into this place, sit down, grab a newspaper and start reading it. It makes no sense. What do you expect the 3-year-old to? Once the 3-year-old enters, like, see light, see camera, in fact, because it's a new environment, the child will move everywhere. The child wants to see everything and explore. But you want everybody to be arranged. You've done something which is bringing a child to an environment that is not ideal. And you want the child to respect the environment. The child doesn't know how to yet. Doesn't have the ability. Then you start beating that child, doing all sorts of things. You don't know how to manage. So you must be able to predict what is happening. You teach in your class, for example, and then there's downtime. You know that this child is going to finish in 5 minutes. The others are going to finish in 12 minutes. That one that is, how did you extend the learning for that one that is going to finish in 5 minutes? That one now becomes disruptive. Then you get angry.
True.
So you must be able to fill in the gaps. You must be able to know your children, connect with them. Teaching in the classroom is beyond this English and maths. It's understanding the different lives that God has entrusted into your care. How are they? What is their personality type? What is the love language? You don't even have to come and do one big thick thing. What is the love language of that child? This child likes me affirming him or her. Good job, well done. I like the way you've done your work. I like the way that you've laid all those materials. I like the way you kept the shelf. Look at your notebook, very tidy. This is what this child likes. Then use it.
Fact.
Use the tools that are available to you, because you must make the time. See, when you are in the classroom, you disconnect. The thing is that a lot of children don't want to disconnect from the class. When I go into the classroom, I don't take my phone. And I tell people that if there's an emergency, call the school, they will let me know. That admin is there for a purpose. I disconnect. If I have my phone, because I want to use it to play music, but oftentimes I use my laptop or my iPad. I don't need my phone when I'm with my kids. I disconnect and I enjoy the time, and it allows me to know them. And I always know when the teacher is not doing their best, because the minute I'm stroll past a class, or maybe I'm on the playground or I'm somewhere, and the child is saying, "Oh, Miss Ronke, do you know what happened? Miss Ronke, I want you to," they want me to affirm because they know what I would do. Or if they're upset, they want to report to me. But the teacher was in the class and has attended to it or not. Because I have a connection with him.
True.
So if you don't connect with the children, you see, you don't have any business in the school if you don't love children. And it's not the cliche that I love children, I want to teach children. Pedophiles too love children. So it's not that kind of love I'm talking about. I'm talking about genuine care, genuine desire to want the children to grow and change and become. But how do you make a child become when all you're thinking about is I don't want to call any names now. You are going to say the president's this political party, that political party. Hey, Nigeria, how am I going to jackpot? If that's all that's in your mind, you're never going to be able to do anything good for those children. And that is the typical state of the classroom in Nigeria today, sadly.
All right. So, if there's something I'm going to take away from what you said, I mean, it just hit me. Expected behavior. Like, I can even imagine that we have to even tweak that to the expected behavior of the Gen Z. Today to try and predict what it is a Gen Z will do in this situation. I think it would also help how we treat them. And for those, she mentioned EQ. EQ is emotional quotient, for those who don't know what that means. All right, so head of school would expect that her teacher has control over the classroom. So effective classroom management is something that I'm sure rises to the top when we're looking for effective educators today. So how would you, or what tips would you give educators about how they can manage their classrooms better without having to shout or use force on the children? Because this is also becoming an issue today.
So for me, the disruption comes here for me because the way that I manage classes is probably not going to be the conventional way that people manage classes. I'm the kind of person that can bring a cushion to the classroom and I can allow the children to just relax and chill. We have mats in our own school. We have sofas and the children can put their feet up if they need to. We don't have to be boxed into that table and desk arrangement because it's actually a long day to be like that. First of all, figure out the kind of children. It's not everybody that will be just like that from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It's tough. So let the children relax in the classroom. Know the different personalities in the classroom. And then you'll be able to manage the children. Then there's something called rapport. In the presence of rapport, good, healthy rapport, all things are possible.
Sure.
So if you have good rapport with the children, they want to please you. That's the funny thing. Even the Gen Zs, if you have a good relationship with them, they're desperate. I mean, my daughter is a Gen Z, and when her friends come around, like maybe I have an event and they're around, they'll come and help. And they'll be like, Auntie, what do you want me to do? What would you like me to? They know because I get them, you know. I give them the fist bumps. I do what I try to be, not be like them, but relate with them, you know. I relate with them and I hang out with them. I talk like them. They get me. How are you, Auntie? I'm calm. Which one? Now I'm talking to somebody else. I'm calm. They're thinking they do this one. I mean, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you learn their language.
Yeah. Speak their language.
Speak their language. Get into their own world. It's not hard. It's not hard. Sometimes I even say, what are you guys using now? What are the things? Come and teach me. You know? And before you know, I'm using it, and then maybe I'm in another environment and I use it, and they're like, Daddy, your mom is fire. They always think that her friends think I'm the coolest mom in the whole wide world.
Imagine, I think
they just think because I take my time to want to understand them. Sure. And then once you try and understand them, you get their trust.
Fact.
They start telling you things that they may not even have told their parents.
Facts.
So get to know them. Everything is not government and everything. There are issues, there are real issues, and they're affecting everyone. But you have the responsibility of looking after children and building them. So your mood, your emotions, the way you act in the class can actually destroy the life of the child.
Or build it.
Or build it. And it doesn't take long. Because sometimes some people start cursing the children in the classroom, saying all sorts of things. Because, and I know a friend of mine, she said she took her children to a new school. And then she speaks English to her children, but they are Yorubas. Then she said the children came and said, Mommy, what is Olodo? Olodo? What is Ode? Mommy, what is Ode? She said, I hear me. Do you know how much I'm paying? So a teacher is going to call. No, she is calling the children names. So not Ode.
Yeah. And it happens sadly.
And this is what is happening. We're not talking about local school here.
No.
We're talking about Creme de la Creme Island School.
Yeah, it happens.
So if that's what you're doing in the classroom, imagine if the children get wind of what that means and it gets into their spirit and they believe that they're losers, they're low dose, they're fools, and all those things that you're calling them, you're labeling them. It gets into their spirit, they become it. They don't even want to try.
True.
So instead of going a low dose, and you say, you can do better, I'm sure you can do this, I trust you, give it one more shot. If you don't understand it, I'll say, you just have to have patience. You've chosen the job, and it's not a job that you have to manage. Oh, let me go be doing this one before I get another one. Let me go and do it before I get to Dogu. Let me go and do something, No. Don't use education to manage anything and destroy anybody's life. I beg, Biko.
I hope we can hear that. Like you said, and this sips back into the previous question where you said self-mastery. When the teacher has mastered themselves and their emotions, they probably won't get to the aspects where they're calling children all of those names. So with that, I mean, I'm sure that you've been enjoying the responses. These are down-to-earth and real responses. That's Madam Ronke Posh for you. At this point, we'll be going on a break. Stay tuned, and I'm sure you would want to catch the second half of this show.
Eloquence focuses attention on the message and the audience.
I found it very interesting, exciting, stimulating.
It was very beneficial.
Definitely would learn a lot, a whole lot.
Thank you. The delivery was second to none.
Speak with power.
Speak with power.
Speak with power.
Join us on Teacher's World, only on the Achievement Channel.
Welcome back, and it's been a show and a half. Like, we have been talking on the show and behind the scenes, and I just found out a secret about Dr. Ronke Posh. Have you guys seen a show where a CEO goes and acts like they're irregular staff? I just realized that this whole force of a woman actually taught at the school where I taught at a point, and she already had her own school at that time, but that's a topic for another day. If you're wondering who I'm talking about, if you're just joining the show, I'm here with Madam Ronke Posh, the head of school at Le Posh Schools, Ikoyi, and it's been fantastic. I've known her for over a decade now, and we've just been meeting. Our paths have been crossing at different levels in life. Okay, so speaking of which, you also taught abroad. You've been abroad. You've spent over a decade in the UK.
2 decades.
2 decades. Okay, I mean, so with that in mind and the knowledge you have garnered over the years, what would you say to a teacher who believes that they are in a local classroom right now? I mean, I'm a teacher who, from my classroom space, I try to do global things. What would you say you look out for in educators in your school, and how can they aspire to global excellence from their classroom?
Good. So I would recommend that you are a glocal teacher. A glocal teacher. And what do I mean by a glocal teacher? Where you are, you can change the world from where you are. By simple things, it's just being professional.
Facts.
Your standards. Don't think because, oh, I'm in this classroom and the roof is leaking on one side, then I have to misbehave and come in with slippers or speak to the children anyhow. You should still have standards. You should still plan your lessons. You should still come on time. You should know exactly what it is that you want to do. Understand your children in the classroom. Don't think that by virtue of demographic, then you cannot have international standards. You know, preparation, they say, is there's nothing like luck, they say. It's just preparation meeting the opportunity. So really, anything can change. The people that their classrooms have actually changed by virtue of them just being visible online, where I personally have donated things to their schools because I just felt this person has so much energy, has so much patience, is doing so much. Why don't we even try to do that with Investigate, Rotimi and I, and just invest, because this person wants to do it and the school cannot afford it. Get them a megaphone, get them a big whiteboard, you know, just invest in them. Where you are, you can bring change. That's just a location, but the mindset has to be global. You have to have that mindset that you can change the world. And we have seen children like that. You know what thing I said? I triggered a lot of people online recently. Because a lot of people say, we are jackpying because of the children, right? Don't know what they normally say. That is the most popular thing I've heard. I don't know if they said, yeah, it's a better environment. They use the children as an excuse. Oh, the educational system is better abroad. We want to carry our children to the abroad. Then I realized lately from conversations that a number of Nigerian parents are doing lessons with the Nigerian lesson teachers online that they've spoken down about. From there. You say they can't speak English, they don't know how to do this, they don't know how to do that. But suddenly you are in a new place that's supposed to be the abroad and better, but you are still hooked and addicted to the Nigerian teachers. Make it make sense.
True.
You want to go. So what I'm trying to say in that context is that those teachers are still operating at international standards. So then I say, oh, I want to call this connectivity. Oh, can you come? No. The fact that they're getting online and still teaching your children that British curriculum and helping them or American or whatever, Singapore, Chinese, doing that job, it's still a standard. It's still an international standard. So it doesn't matter if you are in the village. Chita Chike, I met him in person in November. I went to wherever he is, Delta State, Asaba, that area. I went there for a conference and to train the trainer. And I met him. And I met the environment where he stays. I couldn't believe it. So that's why you know that kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? He's doing his stuff.
That's what I do for here.
You know, I couldn't believe that. Honestly, I really couldn't believe that guy was doing all those things from that. If you see the roads.
Are you serious?
Wow. If you see the roads, if you see but he doesn't allow anything to be unstoppable. Stop kicking of excuses. This one is stopping you from doing this. I don't have this material. Even if you don't have the abroad materials, use our own. Let us take pride in our own culture. If it's about the more seeds, you're going to use to teach counting. If it's broomsticks, you're going to use to teach counting. Use it. Everything does not have to be abroad. When we take pride in our own, then we find out that the foreigners will take interest. This guy, Chudi, is telling people the same in entertainment, that stop seeking outside. Let us do our own thing. Let the fire burn. You know, it's where you fan that will catch fire. When you fan it. He is encouraging us to invest in our own talent and let the abroad come to us. Not us always seeking something, you know, that proximity to whiteness, that validation. Everything in Igbo must validate it, right down to our language.
Fact.
When I was growing up, it was shameful to be speaking Pidgin English. If you're speaking English, you are local, maybe you are poor. But now everybody's speaking Pidgin, Abi.
I mean,
why?
And that's the hip thing.
Because BBC Pidgin was invented
and kind of validated
it. Why must the white man validate everything that we do? It's an insecurity. It's embedded. And that's why I have the Rooted movement, to tell people that we have so much to be desired, but we don't know, because we don't know our history. We don't take pride in the things that are our own. Everything must be aware.
And something you said, I mean, you just touched on it. You said, in order to just attain that global status, you don't necessarily need proximity. Even if we're doing our local things with our local resources.
Let's even call them indigenous.
Indigenous. Being professional already puts you at a global standard, because we have a lot of people who are not professional today. So being professional is like the first criterion, I think, will get you to that status. And I mean, the way you've answered the question is just fantastic. Adeola, that public school teacher, she was on this show earlier. She's also a teacher in the public space that has gone on to attain so many things, Global Teacher Prize, Multinational Teacher of the Year, all of that. So these are people that we should look at and know that being global doesn't necessarily need Western validation.
No.
It begins with you from where you are.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. I know that you've been on various shows, podcasts and all of that. You're a mentor to parents, you're a mentor to head of schools. What would you say to educators who are having issues working with parents on helping them understand that the character and the emotional health of the children are as important as grades in the classroom?
Good question. The character. So our school, Aleposh School, is more about character. When I say it, people just think, I always say that I would rather a child has good character than grades in my school. I don't shoot for grades first. I shoot for that total being. Because we have a lot of evil geniuses out there. A lot of us have raised beasts. And that's why you hear that this doctor took the life of this person. This doctor just, this person just did this. They don't really care. The lawyers, the accountants, they just, they just detach. They can cheat you. They don't connect in any way. And this is because we have pushed them and we have removed the humanity from them by virtue of us centralizing everything around grades. Everything grade. You must pass. You say when in this Nigeria, when you drive around, sometimes you will see billboards with students on it. 7 A's, 9 A's, something A's.
Selling points.
Tell me about how good, how kind is that child? Rhoda always talks about social emotional learning. How does that child help somebody else? How does that child treat their friends? Does that child tell lies? Is that child sending nudes, masturbating? Is that child sleeping around, taking drugs? But no, you don't know that part. You don't care. As long as you are getting the grades. So how do you connect it? You must build that social emotional aspect of that child. Character development, very, very essential. Your value system in your school. What does your school stand for? Schools must stand for more than grades, especially now that a lot of children are giving birth to children. Children are raising children. So you find that schools these days, you might be raising the children and teaching them and mentoring them and doing everything you want to do, but you might have to even teach the parents too.
Facts.
You might have to teach some of these parents. Some of these parents, they have no idea. And they will tell you, I didn't know it was supposed to be like this. So I didn't even, some people even come for inquiries and they'll tell you that, is this how school fees is? And they don't even know. But you've gone ahead and given birth to the child. This is the situation that we have. So let's focus on character. Let's focus on parenting at home. Parents should learn how to parent. It's not innate. Because you have a child, I don't know, you know how to raise a child. You can't give what you don't have. You're not well behaved. You're not going to be able to raise a well behaved child because the child is going to model you and copy you. So we find that there has to be collaboration between the schools, and there has to be that synergy between the schools and the parents so that we can raise children that are not just driving and gunning for grades, but also good character.
Fantastic. I remember when I was still in the classroom and I was with Class Dojo. What made me an ambassador actually was when I had ensured that my children participated in Kindness Week, because at that time we had been working with international schools and they told us that sometime in February, instead of Valentine's and all that, they coined it into a Kindness Week and we started to give stuff out for charity from my classroom in my space. It was from there it spread across the school I was at the time. So it built character and lots of children there. It was just at that moment that it was inculcated in them that some other children need this clothes that they are this person at home, these shoes that they use only once and throw away. How can I help? So even children who probably were not the high flyers, they participated and they were rewarded for that. So I think that's another way to look at how we can equate character, emotional attitudes to grades. I don't know if you agree with me.
do.
Okay, so thank you. So we've come to the end of our jam session. Now we're going to go into the quick fire session. Everyone
Quick
here,
fire, I'm scared.
everyone on this list, at some point, the way they described you in their own unconventional